Have you or anyone you know ever been affected by a drunk driver or know someone who has been? I do. When I was in the ninth grade, I got called out of class and picked up by my dad from school. When I got in the car, he told me that one of my friends had been killed in a car accident the night before by a teenager who was drinking and driving. It was one of the hardest days of my life, and I'll never forget it. Going to a funeral for a friend who was 16 is something no one should ever have to do. Her name was Kylie, and she was one of my best friends. But more than that, she was a daughter, a sister, a classmate, and a great softball player. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 10,497 people died in 2016 due to drunk driving, and more than 1 million drivers were arrested for driving under the influence of alcohol and narcotics. Today, I'm asking you to not be a part of the 1 million. A designated driver is defined as a member of a group who abstains from alcohol in order to drive others safely, according to the Oxford English Dictionary online. Every day, 29 people die because of drunk driving. Designated drivers, or more commonly known as DDs, have been established in order to decrease this number. At some point, we have all drank underage or know a friend that has. Imagine your friend is at a party. They're drinking and they decide that they want to go home. They're tired and they just want to go to sleep. So they get their keys and turn their car on. And dizzy and confused, they begin driving, unaware that a car is in their way. They crash into the car head on and die from the impact. The next day, you get a call from your friend saying that such and such has died because they were in a wreck. That call has just become one of the worst news that you will ever receive. But not only that, your friend hit another car. Maybe they hit a mother who had a kid at home and another kid in the back seat. That kid at home has now become motherless, and they don't have their only sibling anymore. They'll have to be in a foster home. Well, they'll be in and out of different homes until they're 18 and then kicked out completely on their own. Or maybe it was a father who was in the military and had just gotten sent home. He was on his way to surprise his wife and children who had no idea he was coming. Imagine that your dad, who has fought overseas and survived the gruesome and horrific scenes, finally made it home just to be killed in a car accident by some stupid teenage kid who was too stubborn to let someone drive them. And you could have prevented that. You could have taken your friend home and saved a few lives that night. I'm speaking with you today to ask all of you to be a DD for a friend, sibling, or anyone you know who is drinking. I'm not going to lie to you, it can be difficult sometimes being a designated driver, especially if you're taking multiple people home. Some friends are definitely difficult to corral in a car, and I'm sure that all of us know that. Because they may not want to go yet, or they haven't finished their drink, or any excuse that they can make to not in the car. But you have to understand, it is your job to protect your friend from being hurt in an alcohol-related accident. And while you may be annoyed with them at the time, being frustrated for a little while is better than sitting at a funeral for someone whose life you could have saved. It's better than not getting to stand by your friend at graduation because they're in jail for a DUI. And it's better than seeing a mother and father grieve over a child who was killed by a drunk driver. Sometimes you won't want to be the DD. You'll want to sit at home and rest while your friends are out partying. You've had a long day and you want to take a bath and watch a movie, or you just failed a test and you just want to sleep it off. Or maybe you had practice and need to catch up on homework. And while you have every right to want to do those things, would you rather get a call saying a loved one has passed away? Of course not. And you can still do those things. Maybe you can drop your friend or sibling off and go home and take a nap or watch a movie or do homework. Tell your friend that they can call you whenever they're ready to go. TrafficSchoolOnline.com says one thing you can do as a DD is set some ground rules to set a time and place to pick your friend up. That way, the hassle of finding your friends will be non-existent. All you have to do is take them home. You're not responsible for making sure that they brush their teeth or take their makeup off before they get in bed. And although those things would make you a great friend, that's not technically the job of a designated driver. A DD just has to make sure that they get home safe. To sum all this up, the benefits of being a designated driver greatly outweigh the cons of being a drunk driver. Being a DD may be difficult at times, but it is so much better to drive someone home than getting a call saying someone you know has died. I'm asking you today to consider being a designated driver for anyone you know, regardless if you're best friends with them or not. Preventing an alcohol-related accident is something that should make you feel good about yourself, because ultimately you are saving the lives of many people, whether you know it or not.